Alright, this time we got Mr. Echidnut, episode 7, season 2 cut content. Sorry, review analysis about Otto's confession. Honestly, this heart should have a heartbreak considering Subaru just laughed at Otto's confession even though he was supposedly laughing at himself.
For some reason, all these episodes of ReZero feel like they're only 5 minutes long. I guess time flies when you're watching the best.
What the fuck are these subtitles right now? Did he put his own in?
Best anime ever.
10 out of 10.
As we saw in the last episode, Elsa's about to kill Subaru, but he opens a door and Beatrice saves him. But
And did the gospel tell Byakuya to save Subaru at this point?
Opens a door and Beatrice saves him. But that was actually the room Rem was sleeping in, so Elsa walked right in and killed her. So obviously Subaru...
And that's why Byakuya said, when Subaru was like, no, we need to go save Rem, and Byakuya was like, it's a bit too late for that, I suppose.
Was very upset with Beatrice. Not only did she sacrifice Rem's life to save Subaru, but she also just sat in the library the entire time.
Because the gospel most likely told her to, right?
However, this episode provided an explanation for Betty's odd behaviors. It's revealed that Beatrice has a gospel just like Betelgeuse.
Crazy
or,
shit.
as she likes to call him,
Juice.
We learned that everything Beatrice does is in accordance to what's been written in the gospel. The gospel is the meaning of her life and the purpose of her existence.
Everything she does is for Mother as well.
Everything she does is for someone she refers to as Mother. Now, Betelgeuse had a gospel too, and he was obsessed with Satella, the Witch of Envy. So I guess we're supposed to assume that Satella is this Mother Beatrice.
Do we have this here? ReZero season 2 opening. Let's see. Ah, here it is, I think. Is there better pictures? This is good enough. What am I trying to hint at right now, I wonder? Echidna must be the sister, huh? Yeah, that's what's going on, right?
Now, Betelgeuse had a gospel too, and he was obsessed with Satella, the Witch of Envy.
Yep.
So I guess we're supposed to assume that Satella is this Mother Beatrice is referring to, but obviously Byakuya's a spirit and Satella's a half-elf, so it's not like they're related biologically, and Betelgeuse definitely didn't call her Mother.
Betelgeuse is also a spirit. Now, I'm not sure how spirits are created. I don't think that you give birth to it, but the little Easter egg seems to be hinting at Echidna. And then one has to ask themselves this, right? 400 years is Byakuya's age. 400 years ago is when Echidna died as well. 400 years ago is when the whale was created. A lot of shit happened 400 years ago before Christ, before Subaru's arrival.
So that leaves us with just 3 possibilities.
Yeah?
1, Mother is just a title that isn't meant to be taken literally.
I think it's supposed to be taken literally. Even if there's no blood relation, Byakuya is referring to a person known as Mother.
2, Satella is Byakuya's mother and must have created her via some type of magic.
I think that instead of Satella, Echidna should go in there, and the answer is 2.
Or 3, Byakuya isn't talking about Satella and her mother is actually someone completely different.
Number 3. Whoa, hell! So this is the isekai where the mom comes with you, right? I'd like to watch this one of these days.
Either way, she's probably a MILF. Another thing we want to think about is, what is the ultimate goal of Byakuya's gospel? She only does things because the gospel tells her to, so what does it want? Well...
And then I'm supposed to assume that every gospel is like a set of instructions, a guide. They're not the same shit, but the common theme in Betelgeuse and Byakuya's gospel is this sort of like guide for their purpose. Betelgeuse's purpose is to break the seal and provide a new body for Satala to possess. Byaku, it's ambiguous. Seems like there's certain things to it seems to revolve around Subaru though, of like, you know, whether or not to save him, whether or not to like prevent him from killing himself. I don't know, but the gospel seems to be just giving guides.
Her too, so what does it want? Well, apparently it didn't want her to stop Elsa from killing Subaru because Beatrice just sits there and lets it happen, even though
well, I thought that she was in shock, maybe? I'm not completely sure here.
And lets it happen, even though she desperately tried to prevent him from killing himself 30 seconds earlier. Byaku says that she never really cared for Subaru and everything she did to help him was because of the gospel, but...
Which I call cope again. I think that she's using this as an excuse and it's a huge tsundere moment. I think that Subaru definitely has moved her heart in season 1.
Judging by her reaction this episode, I don't think that's 100% true.
Yep.
I got a question for you guys. Who is the most mysterious character?
Roswaal. Roswaal has been the most mysterious the entire time. Satala doesn't count. That's just like a bullshit answer, right? Roswaal is definitely super mysterious. Byaku, for sure, but not on the level of Roswaal because now we're getting a little bit more breadcrumbs as to how he might know Subaru's secret. I think it's definitely Roswaal. Otto? Kind of mysterious, I guess, but not on the same level. Is there anything else? Garfield? Not really. Ryuzu? Ryuzu is mysterious. Ryuzu is mysterious, but I just don't feel like Ryuzu has a huge role in the plot to the same degree as Roswaal.
So far this season. I think it's either Beatrice or Roswaal, but I can't decide, so let me...
There's also Echidna, but I don't know. I just feel like Roswaal has a direct connection to the story more than Echidna does at the current moment. Even if Echidna may be Byaku's mom and shit like that, I just feel like Roswaal is the one that's the most mysterious to me. Plus, I have a super bias for him because I've been just like camping his ass in season 1. Like entirety of season 1, I was so engrossed. I was like, why the hell is he AFK every time? And slowly, we're getting just a little bit more answers episode by episode.
Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, Subaru returns by death and Garfield brings him out to a field with Ryuzu. Now, if you've been paying attention to Ryuzu,
different drip, different last name.
She wore this exact same white outfit the very first time we saw her.
That's the first one we saw then.
She's been wearing a black outfit instead. Now, if you've read the Sloth If story, or if you're just a weeb, you probably understand that anime characters don't just change their outfits for no reason.
I hope Subaru continues to wear this fucking... just... It's the de facto fucking hikikomori outfit, right? It's just a tracksuit, but there's something hilarious in my mind of this like next coming of Jesus Christ in this foreign land, and it's this kid in a tracksuit like saving the world. That is just hilarious to me, so I hope he wears this shit all the way to Amelia's ascendancy to the monarchy.
Remember, a while ago Ryuzu introduces herself as Ryuzu Bilma. Well, this time she introduces herself as Ryuzu Shima.
There's two Ryuzus.
That, combined with the outfit change, definitely imply that something's up with Ryuzu. And as always, all theories are welcome in the comments section below.
My theory with Ryuzu is similar to the Einsburn doll's homunculi Irisfield, because apparently Subaru said she was also like a doll-like figure. We see multiple Ryuzus. I think this is the perfect candidate to be some sort of homunculi, artificial human, artificial elf actually. Created and implanted souls, maybe. But why do they have different last names? Just to denote different versions of Ryuzu, rather than just calling Ryuzu 1, 2, 3, 4? I don't know, but I think that they're artificially made.
As always, all theories are welcome in the comments section below. Subaru still wants to take the trial in Emilia's place, which I think is kind of selfish. He doesn't want Emilia to suffer, which is nice, but he still isn't taking Emilia's feelings into consideration.
There's a lot of different ways one could interpret someone acting selflessly or selfishly. For example, what Echidnut's saying is absolutely correct. Subaru is being selfish, but not taking, Emilia's feelings into consideration. One could then also do mental gymnastics and defend why Subaru is being selfless, because he actually does care about Emilia's feelings, and he thinks that giving her protection over this traumatic event is more important than what she's saying, and therefore he's being a selfless person to do it instead of her. And then there's even more mental gymnastics you can do to justify why Subaru's act is actually selfish in a selfless way, and also vice versa, selfless in a selfish way. That's why I hate these fucking discussions, especially in the YouTube comment sections, because monkeys will try to fucking tell me and correct me that I'm understanding this shit wrong when I can just do the same fucking mental gymnastics and exactly explain why he is selfish or selfless. There's dudes showing up literally telling me that actually Subaru's not being prideful anymore. And I'm like, I could say the exact same opposite thing. Just please just fucking watch the reaction and fuck off.
The reason I said this is prideful is because even though his desire is to protect her, he's still giving his own desires more value than Emilia's.
Sure.
He's making the choice for her without even giving her an option. That's just my opinion though.
And I think that what Subaru is doing is objectively correct, because I don't think Emilia's desires really matter at the current moment, because motherfuckers are gonna die at the mansion. Subaru's desires to save them precedes what Emilia has to go through, in my opinion. But in the long-term approach, it's worse, right? Because this is gonna help Emilia short-term, but it's not gonna actually address the root cause of her insecurities and her lack of growth.
The choice for her without even giving her an option. That's just my opinion though, and the cool thing about ReZero is that everyone has their own unique interpretation, so guys, feel free to disagree with me. I believe that Subaru is being selfish here, but I know a lot of people...
You can argue either or. Literally, I've given you like selfish and selfless and selfish selflessly or selfless selfishly.
Don't, so just remember that the comment section is always open for discussion and I still read every single comment. But moving along, Subaru is...
What the... Hold the fuck up. What is this, bro? Is this... side story when Otto and Subaru gets imprisoned? What is this shit?
Along, Subaru is thrown in jail after...
Lolicon finally goes to prison. No, we're not a lolicon. Subaru is actually not a lolicon. Reinhardt is a lolicon, bro.
After Garfield notices the witch's scent. Now, a bit of criticism ReZero got during Season 1 was that Subaru's return by death ability is too...
It is OP. The fuck you think about it from another angle. If a villain boss has Subaru's return by death power, how OP it would be? Yeah, you can't win. Subaru will win every single time, assuming the checkpoints don't happen after a significant loss that he faces, and he can't just regress to reset those, right? If you assume that you can always regress to reset your mistakes, it is very OP. But we have seen time after time that it's not the case, right? We've seen at the Royal Selection beginning, Emilia, leaving us. We can't reset that shit. We also can't reset the fact that Rem got fucked by, gluttony, right? We can't reset that. And now we also have a situation where Subaru can't even kill himself. Potentially he gets kidnapped, and then what? Something horrific happens and he can't reset anything and any checkpoint is made? For sure, it seems OP, but Nagatsuki Tape has balanced this power so well by having people be suspicious of Subaru with each loop, in terms of knowing these forbidden secrets of what should happen in different timelines at different dates. Until Subaru subjugated the White Whale, Wilhelm and everyone else would never even fucking listen to his, actually detailed explanations of what's going to happen in the future. As well as the Miasma Scent, we see that Rem as well as Garfield, they're getting suspicious with each run, right? So, and the fact that there's a psychological component of not wanting to abuse the power because it's fucking terrifying to die. In this way, this seemingly OP power is actually not as OP as you would think.
Too overpowered. With enough trial and error, he could literally conquer the entire world, they said. Well,
almost.
They were all wrong, because Subaru does have a very obvious weakness, and this episode puts that weakness on full display.
Yep, there's multiple weaknesses, and I've literally described to you every single one of them, and this newest one is actually terrifying, because again, what if you get kidnapped for years? And the checkpoint is, who knows how the fucking checkpoints are made? That's kind of sad, man.
If Subaru's unable to kill himself, he can't use his power. All you have to do is tie him up and keep him alive, and he'll basically be completely useless.
Now, I thought about like killing ourselves by depleting mana somehow. I know our mouth is tied up, so maybe he can't say the word shamak, but if I was Subaru, I try to figure out clever ways to be able to end my life when being restrained like this for future events, such that we don't get kidnapped and just go AFK and a new checkpoint is made. That'd be terrible.
That is the flaw of Return by Death. That is how you defeat Natsuki Subaru. So in this episode, Subaru had no way of killing himself. He was completely dependent on his allies to save him. And luckily, Otto.
Highlight of the episode? Really? Highlight of the episode was the intro scene for me with Byaku Revelation of the Gospel. But to me, I care a lot more about the witch cult shit and the gospel. I've been just like hounding after that kind of information in season 1. That's why it's way more impactful for me. But Otto's coming at the end when seemingly no one was going to show up, and clutching definitely was heartfelt.
After 3 days of loneliness and confinement, Subaru bursts out laughing after hearing Otto's confession. Think about how great it must have felt to finally be laughing again after everything Subaru just went through.
And imagine how sad Otto must feel after confessing to Subaru, and Subaru laughing at his face and saying, "Ha, friend? You're actually my friend? You think we're friends?" I understand the implications, but from an outward glance, it seems pretty fucked up.
This is why Otto is so amazing, and I can't wait for more of his moments this season. Subaru thanking Otto for being his friend was a perfect way to end the episode, but you know, this is ReZero, so they had to throw a cliffhanger in there somehow.
Post-credit scene!
In the very first after-credits scene of Season 2, we get to see Garfield's partial transformation after he discovers Subaru has escaped. So the next episode, we can assume Garfield will be coming for Subaru, adding yet another obstacle for him to overcome this season. He's already got to deal with the trials and the mansion being attacked, but now Garfield is another problem.
And that's the worst part, because the mansion shit is most likely due to Roswell. Amelia is a skill issue on her. But Garfield, I don't think Roswell fucking hired Garfield to do this shit. Garfield's just a fucking idiot. And he's acting on his impulses and an instinct, and it makes sense. His instincts are correct, that Subaru is suspicious. The miasma is stacking up. He's emotionally distant and does things in a very calm and rational way where it doesn't make sense, right? It's very suspicious, but like, goddamn, bro, you're gonna get in a way right now just when I thought we had enough fucking challenges. This fucking cat shows up. Ugh.
Subaru's got a lot on his plate, but it looks like he's got Otto to help him, and possibly even Ram. So hopefully...
My bad, not Ram, Rom. That's right, it is Rom in every Echidnut video.
Subaru will put together a good team of allies that will help him overcome all the obstacles this season has presented to him. The ReZero OST doesn't play through headphones or speakers, it plays directly through the soul.
Heart.
All the music in this episode was flawless as always, and we even got the ending too, which always...
The soundtrack playing in the beginning scene with Byaku was so fucking good, man.
Always seems to play at the perfect time. I feel like I don't even have to say it at this point, but all the VAs had an incredible performance this episode.
Yes, sir.
This episode was very well put together, and I think it's another 10 out of 10. I have no complaints whatsoever, and the entire thing was really impressive. I just couldn't be happier, honestly.
Yeah.
Last week was good too, but I think this was a big improvement on the previous episode.
And you know what the best part is? Most people don't really give a fuck about ReZero anymore compared to season 1. Like, it is, and I knew this would happen. I was definitely anticipating it, right? A lot of people have already warned me, told me about how season 2 is gonna be slower and not as exciting. Yeah, all the fucking bottom of the barrel, the most unga boonga dumbasses that just watch ReZero just for the action scenes in season 1, they're all gone for season 2, and it makes sense, right? Season 2 has been giving us a lot of important lore for me, which is very good. I love that shit. I value that shit more. That's why season 2 is so fascinating. But compared to season 1 by episode 7, I can definitely understand why people think that season 2 is worse.
This episode. Next week needs to hurry up and happen already because I cannot wait for more ReZero. And
do I think so far season 2 is better than season 1 comparing both starts? No. What season 1 delivered to me in those 7 episodes pales in comparison what season 2 has offered to me in the first 7 episodes. And that can only be the case. It's an unfair comparison. Right now, this is a sequel and we're continuing off 7 episodes in. The first 7 episodes was very, very intense and very impactful. It was arc 1 and in the height of arc 2 as well, right? So it's an unfair comparison. Season 1 start can only be better than the season 2 start.
More importantly, more Otto. Season 2 has been amazing so far, and I hope...
Is this Echidna going to jail too?
Hope all of you are just as excited as I am. If you guys enjoy these reviews, make sure you show your support by giving the video a like. I also want to give a special thanks to my channel
Yes, sir, but is there any more? Hold the fuck up. Is this all just Patreon plug at the end?
Reviews, meaning that so you don't miss...
Yes, it is. But... yeah, I mean, here's the video. Please go give Echidnut a like, sub to the channel if you haven't already. But, I I think the really interesting thing is stuff in the beginning, right? With Byaku's stuff. The fact that the gospel was literally hidden in her stool in the anime. The gospel was just on the ground, but apparently in the cut contents, Subaru broke this shit, then the gospel came out, meaning Byaku was intentionally hiding it. Byaku is actively just doing everything according to the gospel. All of her acts in season 1 is apparently due to the gospel, but I don't buy it that Byaku doesn't seem Subaru as someone that's close or someone that's moved her heart. That's a fucking straight up lie. The Garfield shit's fucking pissing me off, but it does make a lot of sense. And Otto, they're cooking with Otto, man. I was like, this random merchant dude from Arc 3, he did clutch, he drove really fast, right? Absolutely. But like, he's becoming more and more interesting and important to the story, and I don't think this is the end, considering the cover 3 promo picture with Otto standing right beside Byaku. Like, bro, I think that Otto's gonna be one of the most important characters probably of this season. I'm not sure of next season, but it's nice to see this seemingly quote-unquote non-important character be more impactful in the story as we get through the episodes. But that's it for me. Again, go check out Mr. Echidnut's channel. I'll see you next time.